Hello, it's Willie from the Ozarks, and we're ready for our September 27th lesson in A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students, reading out of the original edition, Lesson 270. I will not use the body's eyes today. I probably should just throw these glasses away. With this lesson, I will not use the body's eyes today. Of course, we don't want to get too physical with this concept. We want to think of it more as from more of a, what I would say maybe a mystical understanding. The idea that we don't want to use the body to validate truth, or the eyes of the body to validate truth. We want to use the heart, our connection with God, love, truth. That's what we want to validate what we see. And that's, I will not use the body's eyes today. Father, Christ's vision is your gift to me, and it has power to translate all that the body's eyes behold into the sight of a forgiven world. How glorious and gracious is this world, yet how much more will I perceive in it than sight can give. The world forgiven signifies your Son is acknowledging his Father, lets his dreams be brought to truth, and waits expectantly the one remaining instant more of time, which ends forever as your memory returns to him. And now his will is one with yours. His function now is but your own. Every thought except your own is gone. What a beautiful prayer. The quiet of today will bless our hearts, and through them peace will come to everyone. Christ is our eyes today, and through his sight we offer healing to the world through him, the Holy Son whom God created whole, the Holy Son whom God created one. Now, I'm not, we're going to read more into this in a little bit. I will not use the body's eyes today, but I think what I've already said is the main thing that I'd like to encourage you about is to recognize that there's the true eyes, which he says are the eyes of Christ. We're to let that be the visionary image that our minds hold, so we know what is true and what to do and who we are. All right? I will not use the body's eyes today. And the reason I'm not completely in the screen in the middle or anything, because I wanted you to see what I'm looking at, so that here's some moss. Pine moss is what I think we call it. I was going to look and tell you what kind of moss. Turns out that of the moss genus, which is ACIM, there's this, I think, might be Americanium, but I'm not sure. But most all the mosses have a very similar, or I don't know. That may be way too much to say. Anyway, to think they're all the same is probably not accurate. That they may have all general tendencies might be good to investigate. I think this one is the ACIM Americanium, and it's been used for wound dressings. So as it dries, maybe even green, and it says it's been used that way for, it said, since ancient times. So as a wound dressing. It's a diuretic. It's been used as a diuretic and to cure coughs. The dried moss was the original feminine napkin. Turns out it's doesn't have a really strong taste, and it's been used for survival food. I mean, it's like it's something that people have eaten to get them by. So I just wanted to show you, I've got some growing a beautiful bit, and then right here in the middle, see this moss right over here? You kind of got it in the bottom of your screen, and right below this, there are some little, I call them sweat bees, coming in and out of their hive in the ground. So I thought maybe it'd be kind of fun to watch that. So let's go ahead and read about the where we at in our text. We are ready for to have peace, teach peace, to learn it. So let's take a look at that. And then we'll go back and read what is the body, and one last time on the I will not use the body's eyes today. To have peace, teach peace to learn it. All the separated ones have a basic fear of retaliation and abandonment. This is because they believe in attack and rejection, so this is what they perceive and teach and learn. These insane concepts are clearly the result of their own dissociation and projection. What you teach, you are, but it is quite apparent that you can teach wrongly, and therefore teach yourselves wrong. Many thought that I was attacking them, even though it was quite apparent that I was not. An insane learner learns strange lessons. Of course, he's referring to his life as the Nazarene, the man from Galilee. That he says that many thought I was attacking them, even though it was quite apparent that I was not. An insane learner learns strange lessons. So they were feeling attacked because they were teaching attack, because they believed in attack. What you must understand is that when you do not share a thought system, you are weakening it. Those who believe in it, therefore, perceive this as an attack on them. This is because everyone identifies himself with his thought system, and every thought system centers on what you believe you are. If the center of the thought system is true, only truth extends from it. But if a lie is at its center, only deception proceeds from it. All good teachers realize that only fundamental change will last, but they do not begin at that level. Strengthening motivation for change is their first and foremost goal. It is also their last and final goal. What is that? The good teacher increases motivation so that the learner feels like they want to go forward, because it's really their own will, great willingness that lets us hear one voice. Well, this is what we inspire in each other, and this is how teaching works. We give away what we want to keep. To have peace, teach peace to learn it. 72. Increasing motivation for change in the learner is all that a teacher need do to guarantee change. This is because a change in motivation is a change of mind, and this will inevitably produce fundamental change, because the mind is fundamental. I love that reasoning. The first step in the reversal or undoing process, then, is the undoing of the getting concept. Accordingly, the Holy Spirit's first lesson was to have, give all to all. We said that this is apt to increase conflict temporarily, and we can clarify this still further now. At this point, the equality of having and being is not yet perceived. Until it is, having appears to be the opposite of being. Therefore, the first lesson seems to contain a contradiction, since it is being learned by a conflicted mind. I hope you all are following the reasoning of this. This means conflicting motivation, and so the lesson cannot be learned consistently as yet. Further, the mind of the learner projects its own split and thus does not perceive consistent minds in others, making him suspicious of their motivation. This is the real reason why, in many respects, the first lesson is the hardest to learn. Still wrongly aware of the ego in himself and responding primarily to the ego in others, he is being taught to react to both as if what he does believe is not true. Still strongly aware of the ego in himself and responding primarily to the ego in others, he's being taught to react to both as if what he does believe is not true. As what he does believe is not true. So there's, we're changing our thoughts, but remember our residual perception of who we think we are still is based on the concept that we had to defend ourselves and that we could be attacked and that we didn't see our oneness in everyone. So now we're going back. I look at it that in part one of the course, we learned to forgive and we won the war. We won the whole argument with the ego. We learned that we could just step out of it and trust God, ask for help. And whenever we find ourselves not happy, we just stop and be still and quiet and say, God, I need help. And in that we get our miracle. We hear the truth of what's really going on all the time now. Isn't this beautiful? So anyway, I think we'll stop right there. That's a good stopping place. Please go back and look at that again if you didn't follow all those thoughts, and go on further without me for sure. Always do that. Someday you won't ever, even if I am helping you, there'll be a time where you'll be doing the same for others. And this is what we want to do. We want to be like a healing balm on planet Earth, just to be loving everybody, because we see the good in it. We've learned to truly be empathetic in the way that the Christ mind sees. All right, let's go look again at what is the body. The body is a fence the Son of God imagines he has built to separate parts of himself from other parts. It is within this fence he thinks he lives, to die as it decays and crumbles. For within this fence he thinks that he is safe from love. Identifying with its safety, he regards himself as what his safety is. How else could he be certain he remains within the body, keeping love outside? The body will not stay, yet this he sees as double safety. For the Son of God's impermanence is proof his fences work and do the task his mind assigns to them. For if his oneness still remained untouched, who could attack, and who could be attacked? Who could be victor? Who could be his prey? Who could be victim? Who the murderer? And if he did not die, what proof is there that God's eternal Son can be destroyed? The body is a dream. Like other dreams, it sometimes seems to picture happiness, but can quite suddenly revert to fear, where every dream is born. For only love creates in truth, and truth can never fear. Made to be fearful, must the body serve the purpose given it. But we can change the purpose which the body will obey by changing what we think that it is for. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. Could even say God's body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. We've given everything to God. And as a result, we find ourselves, our happy self, what we always wanted. And there's no sin, no guilt. That's why we left that world and realized that there's a world of innocence. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity, though it was made to fence him into hell without escape. Yet has the goal of heaven been exchanged for the pursuit of hell? Now we're headed to heaven, not hell. The Son of God extends his hand to reach his brother and to help him walk along the road with him. Now is the body holy. Now it serves to heal the mind that it was made to kill. You will identify with what you think will make you safe, whatever it may be. You will believe that it is one with you. Your safety lies in truth and not in lies. Love is your safety. Fear does not exist. Identify with love and you are safe. Identify with love and you are home. Identify with love and find yourself. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, one last time on our reading today. I will not use the body's eyes today. And I just wanted to mention I'm in Eureka Springs. Jessica and I came down to the bikers kind of rally that goes on out here, and didn't have it so much this year because of a lot of businesses were I'm not sure exactly why, but anyway, a lot of bikers, but not as many as a lot of years. But I'm sitting in the woods right behind the main road out here and found this little patch of moss and saw these bees coming in and a little cedar tree in here in the background, and it's just a beautiful little place. So let's last read. I will not use the body's eyes today. Let's look for all those beautiful places in the world, and let's just sit down and have our little take fives. I'm starting to tell people I need to take 5. And that's my little saying where they know what I'm saying is I need to have my little 5-minute meditation. I've been thinking about doing that more and more. So I think I'll mark. I think I'll need to take 5. Let's take 5. And if it ends up being 10 or 15, well, if everybody's happy, I guess it doesn't matter, huh? I will not use the body's eyes today. Father, Christ's vision is your gift to me, and it has power to translate all the body's eyes behold into the sight of a forgiven world. How glorious and gracious is this world! Yet how much more will I perceive in it than sight can give? The world forgiven signifies your Son acknowledges his Father, lets his dreams be brought to truth, and waits expectantly the one remaining instant more of time, which ends forever as your memory returns to him. And now his will is one with yours. His function now is but your own, and every thought except your own is gone. The quiet of today will bless our hearts, and through them peace will come to everyone. Christ is our eyes today. Christ is our eyes today. So keep that in mind when you say your lesson for today. I will not use the body's eyes today. Don't let the ego take that and say, see, this is nonsense. This is meaningless. What, are you going to walk around with a blindfold on all day today? So let's don't let the ego ramrod or take over the good message here. The good message is it's a nice way to say, hey, let's not use the body's eyes. Instead, let's use Christ's eyes to see a forgiven world. All right? Christ is our eyes today, and through his sight we offer healing to the world through him. The Holy Son whom God created whole. The Holy Son whom God created one. I will not use the body's eyes today. Let's use the Christ eyes. I will not use the body's eyes today.